Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So this is just a start to a slightly different video. I've got a few clips of shrimp and moving shrimp that we've been doing. I'll add to that as we go through the video, but sit back and enjoy this first bit. So I've given the front glass a bit of a clean. I use these Chem scrapers that you can retract inside there. You can flip that blade around for like a sponge pad as well, and they're replaceable, so they're good little bits of kit. They do a longer handled one as well. And apologies for the reflection, we've got some of our galaxies in, so this tank is going to be absolutely stuffed because this is just a few of them. I do need to take the bolts out of there, so that they do produce the odd blue bolt, but or crazy blue, and I'll go through and do that. I'll probably move some plants in, a bit of booze on rock, but you'll see all that happen anyway. I'll do that tomorrow. A little bit of a room update. So we've bought another AC unit that's a lot better. I've actually just used the ducting on that, so I will get another wall hole put where the old AC unit was. But this one's a lot better. It's Wi-Fi controlled. You can set routines on this. Heats and cools this does, and I got this for a decent price. Likewise, we've moved over our Amano, so this is very cloudy. I need to get some filter floss in there. Have done a big water change on this to try and stop the cloudiness, but I think this Chem fluorite sand, they dig up and it goes quite cloudy, so this is just going to take time to settle. I'll probably get or put an external filter on this, or a hang-on filter, and put some filter floss in the hang-on filter and just sort of manage it that way, just to try and polish that water a little bit. But there's, believe it or not, there's about 50 Amanos in there. And then moving on to the tank that's starting to grow algae, the first one of these recycled on master soil. This has still got ammonia, but it's also got nitrite now, which it didn't have before. So the process is happening. It's just bacteria that I've added to these. I haven't added any ammonia. The soil produces the ammonia itself. And we also bought this cabinet for the house. So as I mentioned in previous videos, one of the tanks in the house is planted. I do want to rescape that, but this is the cabinet I'm going to put it on, so it's more aesthetically pleasing in the house than a rack. And maybe then the wife will allow me to keep it, but we'll see. And then finally, just before we move these in and get the racks moved, we've got our 7 tanks in to match the one that I've moved the galaxies into. So a bit of work to do. I don't know if I'll get it all finished this week. It's just a bit slower than I anticipated due to my health more than anything, but we'll keep trying, do bits at a time and see how far we get.
So there's a hole where the Galaxy tank used to be. On top there used to be the Amano tank. I've got to clear up obviously in there. And then if we move around, here's the tank. I haven't cleaned it yet, but this is the tank I'm going to scrub out. I've got all the Akadama out and all the creatures. I'm going to scrub this one out, and this is the one I'm going to be using to probably do an Iwagumi scape. So we'll get this cleaned. Remnants of the house rack. So this is the last rack to get moved, and we've got this tank that I'm giving to my daughter. We're going to strip this down. We're going to have to sort of move it from here onto the table temporarily, but the long-term plan is that it will go in that tank and cabinet next to the dog beds. I'm not sure if it's going to live there or stay there, because there is a cupboard behind it that we don't use, but I'm not 100% certain yet. So that's going to get escaped. I may put that back over here and then sort of have the table there. The stuff in the corner is loads of shrimp stuff, to be honest, so stuff that I use and collect. I need to give that a good sort out. But that's the plan for the weekend. Hopefully we can get that moved. There's no way I can lift that tank. I'm going to have to drain it as much as I can and get someone in to move that, but we'll give it a go. It'll have to get moved on there, and then it will just get broken down, but I won't break it down until I've got this scaped, because there are a few fish out of there that I want to keep. Primarily the green neons, really, and there is a nice little Cockatoides Epistogramma, double red, so I want to try and keep him if I can. Only got the male, haven't got a female, but he's a beautiful fish. And there is a peacock goby in there, which I wouldn't mind keeping as well. But the rest of it really probably go to my daughter. I'm not 100% certain if I'm going to keep there's a couple of cabotis in there which I really like, and there is also some Ember Tetras, and I like those as well, but I'll have to see once I've got the other tank scaped. As we'd hoped to do, I have moved the rack in now, as you probably gathered from the little clips of the video. What we have done though is we've obviously got this rack in here. I do need to tidy up and stuff, but we have now put our airline in, and we've worked out we're going to need 12 valves for that rack. And then if we just lift that up and over, what we've done is we've got the pump there, we've put that on a T-piece and we've moved that over, and rather than it sort of have it hanging, we've actually put it on an elbow and just strap the elbow to the legs of the racks. Pretty similar to how we've done it there. So good old cable ties. I'll clean all these back supports off, we'll get some tanks moved. So the plan is to move those two tanks and those two tanks, nearly fell then, and those two tanks, and maybe a couple of the smaller ones onto the top. I am planning on having some snails breeding, specifically rabbit snails and white wizards possibly, or something similar to that. I'm not sure yet, but I do want to do shrimp and snails because people do like them. The shrimp are all doing fine, having a bit of a mooch for food, but the plan is hopefully this week we'll start getting some of these moved, and once I've got these moved over, we can then get these tanks here. So we've got those set up there, and we can hopefully get those set up in that tank. So not a massive amount. I've got a tank to scape that I need to scape, and these are now clearing and cycling. So I'm doing a little test in the one tank actually on the help soil. It releases a tiny bit of ammonia. I've got a couple of PWL in there with ammonia, so 0.5 ammonia, but I'm adding stability daily to that, and we're going to see how that goes. I haven't had any problems. They've been in for a couple of days. I've had one fatality moving over the galaxies, and it was a big red female that was old anyway. So these are doing really well, and we'll just keep an eye on those and keep an eye on the parameters. So I'll try and video stuff this week. I've got loads of water changes to do, and I haven't got the auto system set up yet, but I'll wrap that up, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this one. It's a little bit different. As always, if you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do so. Massively helps grow the channel, and thank you all for your love and support and the likes and stuff. So likes and comments make a massive difference, and I do try and respond to all the comments. So if you've got any questions, please ask, and as always, I'll see you next time.